Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here. So this is an extremely important TWAB. I cannot express enough how important this TWAB is. Arc is finally getting touched. Arc is finally getting handled. So I read some of it. I didn't read all of it. I am disappointed by certain things, but we are going to go ahead and hop straight into things. By the way, I have already finished a first of a very special series that I teased right before the new year. That should be releasing this upcoming week. I know I said I was going to upload a little bit less. That's going to really start with that series. That series is going to take a little bit of time to put out each episode. It's going to be a little bit more edited than usual, more so meaning I'm cutting out a lot of chunks of unnecessary, what I deem to be unnecessary footage. Also, really quick note, the build challenge video that I had posted, you have until the beginning of until the end of this episode. Once the end of this episode happens, I will, well, a little bit before, I will check to see if anyone has posted anything. I'm also going to be testing out things. I put a post up on the Destiny 2 subreddit. If you happen to find it, you find it. If you don't, then, just, put some there. But I will be looking at some comments as well. And I'll be shouting out certain users that I believe to have really good stuff. But on that note, though, let's hop straight into the TWAB here. So, Dungeon Race, do I plan on participating? I probably won't be able to. I don't even know if I'm going to be getting the dungeon. I have to see the armor. I have to see the armor. Because I don't care about any of the dungeon weapons. Because there's no reason for me to care about weapons anymore at this point. It depends on if the armor looks good, I will probably play it, or if the exotic is halfway decent, I might play it as well. So, Kaidos mode is going to be available for 48 hours, and you'll be at least at 1995. You need to have, of course, the key. The Drowning Labyrinth quest is interesting. I don't think we knew. So, Harris area is right around the corner. With it comes the launch of a new dungeon. Travel to Seventh Room's Throne World and infiltrate Royal Experiment Ship and the new dungeon Sunder Doctrine. Okay, I'm already not a huge fan of. Bring a new area for the dungeon. Holy shit. Ghost of the Deep had a relatively new environment. Warlord's Ruin have a relatively new environment. But like this past one is basically Deep Stone Crypt, and this one it looks like you're getting an old raid. Like, come on! But I do have hope that the armor might actually look good because the actual raid Vow of the Disciples armor actually did look pretty good. Um, so it's called Sundered Doctrine. I hope we get a little bit more details on the weapons and armor. But once the final encounter is complete, yada yada yada. Um, Contest mode details for the first 48 hours for basically 2 days. Um, it feature resurrection tokens and have an enrage mechanic that limits the number of phases. I don't know if the previous contest modes has that. Well, I believe the only dungeon contest mode we had was Vesper's Hope, of which I did not participate in. I do not have the dungeon key, nor do I plan on ever getting it. So there's Dungeon Race. Oh, viewers can also obtain that emblem. That won't be for me. I stream on YouTube always. I do not stream on Twitch. So, oh, Evan F and CB Gray getting some shoutouts. TikTok might not be around. TikTok will probably not be around when the dungeon happens because I believe it's January 19th that the thing's gonna go through. So, what? But shoutouts to those two. I do like them. Now, Heresy abilities update. They're adding a new arc verb called Bolt Charge. Essentially, it acts a little bit like the missiles for Grand Overture. So building a bunch of charges is going to release a lightning. Your next ability damage source is going to release a Bolt Charge. This does not fix arc. Arc's biggest issue is survivability. Survivability is its biggest issue. It's not its damage, it's its survivability, which is still a massive problem. Now, I'm going to more so get into the aspects. For aspects, Void Hunters are getting something new. Your first on the prowl is a new Void aspect for hunters that embodies the fantasy of hunting down prey and being rewarded for the kill. Let's not talk about the voice crack there. On the prowl, entering invisibility marks a nearby enemy as a priority target for you and your team. Now, this does not enable players to see marked targets through walls in the Crucible. Interesting. Defeating priority targets creates a weakening cloud of smoke that makes you and allies invisible while passing through. When priority targets are defeated, you and nearby allies gain increased weapon reload speed and stability for a short time, and are granted grenade, melee, and class ability energy. Interesting. So they have a little bit of a video here. I'm not hearing anything. Yeah, there's just no sound for this. Interesting. Okay, I actually do like this. So, okay, hold on a second. I need to. Interesting. Wow, this could actually be really good if Bungie had a little bit more like stealth stuff. Wow, that actually does look pretty nice. I wish we had a little bit more stealth stuff. The Night Stalker has many ways to go invisible, which is, yeah. Then what happens? A nearby so this doesn't apply to bosses. Interesting. Your entire granted a stack of successful hunt, a buff that. Oh, so it's a buff. So if your hunter's doing a lot of invis stuff, then it's gonna keep ramping up. That's interesting. That's interesting. So that's a. It does. I don't think it's groundbreaker necessarily, but it does seem pretty nice. Pretty nice. Titans. Strikers were up. Storm's Keep. Storm's Keep is a pretty good name. New class ability focus aspect for Arc Titans that utilizes Bolt Charge to its full potential. My criticism for this is the problem is Knockout is pretty decent, and it's Titans. Realistically speaking, Knockout is Titans' only way of getting any sort of health regen. Any sort of way of health regen, like outside of like certain exotics that give you health regen by default. But like, I'm a little bit concerned because Knockout's super important, and then the grenade one, I will say it's not. Touch of Thunder isn't as necessary unless you're using Pulse Grenade. Now, Shadow's Keep, Storm's Keep, cast your class ability to grant a moderate number of Bolt Charge stacks to you and nearby allies. While behind your barricade, you and allies grant a stack of Bolt Charge over time, and any weapon damage will discharge max stacks of Bolt Charge. We wanted to do a few things with this aspect for strikers. We wanted to create an opportunity for barricade to be used offensively, and we wanted to capitalize on what Bolt Charge can provide. By the way, hazardous propulsion could very well work with this. Standing behind that barricade. Oh wow, this could be some insane. So yeah, so if you opt for the barricade version, standing behind the barricade will gain additional bolt charge stacks over time. Also, I'm assuming this is the Vesper's host weapon. Once you're at full stacks, any weapon damage you deal while standing will also cash in bolt charge, calling down a lightning bolt at your target's location. That's interesting. Wait, but with Storm's Keep, you can call down lightning just by shooting enemies while behind your barricade? Oh, this is especially potent with Rally Barricade, as it allows multiple bolts for the. Oh, wow. Okay, so this actually makes it to where Arc, you might want to start using other barricades. Okay, let's see this here. First on a second. Bungie, like, you could have uploaded that better quality. What the fuck? Okay. Wait. That's a new animation. That's a new animation. I want to see what it looks like. Huh. Okay, so it looks like it's similar to Cloud Strike. So as you can see, we have Bolt Charge there, Rally Barricade, new animation, which is kind of cool. Um, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, bam. Then it builds back up. How much damage did that do? Oh, hold on a second. So it didn't do like a quite airborne effectiveness at 45. What the fuck? I'm not seeing a visible damage buff necessarily. So 156 and 1079. I think it does buff your damage. It's just hard to tell because I'm not seeing a clear indicator. So that's interesting. I can see this definitely being used with Arc Machine Gun specifically, like a Thunderlord. Also, Anarchy could work very well as well here, especially for. Oh my goodness, Deep Stone Crypt Suppressor. Oh, oh. Ooh, and I believe these are getting added to Prismatic as well, possibly. I don't know if these are probably not getting added to Prismatic. That must be something separate. Now, Ionic Sentry. We're just gonna come out and say it. Everyone loves buddies, and Arc Soul was begging for us for a sibling. Behold, we found one in Ionic Sentry. Oh my god. Defeating targets with arc abilities or weapons to charge up an Ionic Sentry. Activate Grenade, deploy a powerful arc turret which blinds on impact and sends out bolts of lightning that chain the nearby enemies when it defeats targets. Okay, so... Oh, it's like a little arc ball. So it doesn't move. So that's something to keep in mind. Is it's probably a little bit closer, it seems like, to an actual just enhanced grenade. Oh wait, does it not? Hold on a second. Does it not consume a grenade? So there's a cooldown base. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Let's go back quite a bit. So IX entry ready. Oh, so it doesn't even really consume a grenade charge. So unlike Arc Soul, it's stationary. Interesting. Reshaping. Okay, so gunpowder, similar to gunpowder gamble. Okay, when first lands. Okay, well, blind has been favorite of Stormcaller, providing much needed AOE. Okay. Heresy balance changes. Hunter Arcstrider. Tempest Strike. New additional effect added. Killing any jolted target grants a stack of bolt charge. Interesting. Increased damage by 57%. Wow, disorienting blow. This stuff I'm not familiar with disorienting blow. Arc staff, reflecting an attack will grant a stack of bolt charge. Interesting. Ascension, increase fragment slots to 3 on arc. Wow. Okay, that's good. The first strand in Thread Runner, ensnaring slam, activating will now grant the following abilities: Gambler's Dodge, Marker's Dodge, and Threaded Spectre. Oh! We don't plan to make Ensnaring Slam activate every Hunter class ability perk, but we may add more interactions. Damn, Threaded Spectre, the clone damage resistance increased in PvE. Titans! All Titan subclasses barricade. Increased damage resistance versus combatants with splash attacks. Yes! Taunt, strength, and range no longer fall off over time. The splash damage is extremely good because one of the bigger issues with barricade is when an enemy threw a grenade, you had to leave the barricade. You had to leave it. Oh, from 60% to 80%, that's good. For Arc, Juggernaut. Okay. While Juggernaut is active, players now have splash damage resistance. 60% in PvE, 10% in PvP. Wow, that's kind of be a little bit insane. While the Juggernaut is active, players now have 10% damage resistance versus PvE commands. Okay. When the Juggernaut shield blocks damage, players are granted a stack of bolt charge. I don't really care about Juggernaut. Ballistic Slam. Sprint time required before activation is significantly reduced. Damage now scales based on distance traveled. Cool. Damage is increased by 30%. Interesting. Okay. I was hoping for a little bit more super related stuff for Striker. Sentinel. Unbreakable. The increase the rate that unbreakable offensive throw charges up and blocking damage. Increase the max damage of the throw by 20%. Increase the health pool of the shield. Interesting. Increase the void overshield charge rate? That's cool. Throw now costs half of a grenade energy instead of the full charge. That's absolutely phenomenal. That's great. While Sentinel's shield is equipped, a orb of power generation cooldown increased. Okay, so you can't do that with Sentinel shield. Interesting. Note, Unbreakable has received a significant buff here. We want it to be strong, but we'll be monitoring it closely. Ward of Dawn. Ward of Dawn now does a weakened pulse when the ward is created. That doesn't... Why? Well, that doesn't impact Ward of Dawn at all. You're going at it at a distance. Why? I guess the only use case is Ekthar. Because sometimes if a boss roams into the bubble, I guess they'll be weak. But it's only on activation. Why? This does nothing for Ward of Dawn. Sunbreaker. Oh my goodness. Consecration's getting nerfed. Reduce Scorch Wave and Slam Wave damage in PvE by 57%. No, when reviewing the damage cost ratio for certain abilities, it became clear that Consecration was doing too much for too little. We didn't want to take away the dramatic pop moment, so we kept its increased ignition damage, which was great, instead of reduced the wave damage. I expect we may need to just... Fuck! Fuck! This is a problem. By the way, this does not nerf Prismatic realistically in any way, shape, or form. Here's the thing with Prismatic and Consecration. Doing the uppercut is enough. Because with Spirit of Contact, it jolts everything. The slam getting reduced damage doesn't do shit. Oh, that's a Scorch Wave. The slam down, however, does nerf the follow-up. It nerfs the follow-up specifically. For Prismatic, it nerfs how many, like, the amount of damage from the Consecration spam we were getting. But, like, it's not going to be particularly as strong, but the accurate potential of Consecration is still going to be there. I don't like that it got nerfed in Solar, because Sol Invictus and Rolling Flames are really overpowered, and being perfectly honest, there is not much of a reason to run Consecration over those two, even when using Pyrogales. I personally don't really understand this nerf. I feel like the ignition damage is fine or whatever, but I would have liked to them have added like an interaction with Sol Invictus or something like that. Also, I would have really liked to have seen fragment slots being increased for some of the Titan aspects. But I digress. And also Strand didn't get touched, of course. Neither did Stasis, but for Warlock, Stormcaller, also not a single super for Titans got adjusted at all. Not a single melee got adjusted realistically outside of Ballistic Slam. I'm a little bit disappointed. For Warlock, Storm Trance increased non-champion PvE damage. Okay, Chaos Reach. Chaos Reach needs the boss damage increased. This is the wrong problem. Lightning Surge removed Amplify on cast. Why? Now gets a stack of Bolt Charge. Increased its damage. Okay. Void Walker, Chaos Accelerant. That's it. For Warlock. Why? Why? So much of Warlock needs to get touched! So much of it. Okay. But all classes, Radiant for Solar. Damage bonus reduced from 25% to 20%. That's fine. I don't care about that. Stasis. Frost Armor. Increased damage resist per stack from 4.5% to 6.5%. At max stacks, damage resist goes to 36 to 50%. That's really good. This change is PvE only. Okay, that's actually really good for Stasis. Kudos. Arc. Okay, I do have Destiny 2 pulled up here, so we will actually be able to take a look at some of these right now. So that's something to keep in mind here. Now, let's see here. So while Amplify, PvE compounds are now less accurate. It's similar to how Amanda Corso Exotic Effect works while in the air. Yes, while Amplified players now have 50% damage resistance against PvE combatants. That's so good. That's so good. Because here's the thing, while Amplified PvE combatants now are less accurate, that's not that impactful considering you're moving quite a bit in Arc. But that 50% damage resistance is going to be so helpful. Spark of Discharge, added effect. Pick up an Ionic Trace, now grants a stack of Bolt Charge. So, Spark of Discharge, I don't think I use that by default. No, I don't. Spark of Discharge. It's this one. No, that's not worth using. Negative 10 strength is not really useful. Arc Weapon, Final Blows have a chance to create an Ionic Trace. Actually, this one actually might be worth using, depending. This one might be worth using, depending. But it does deal negative 10 strength. Adding that, because Ionic Traces also give you, ability energy. So, this actually might be worth it now, because it's going to make your melees a little bit more potent, so... That's nice. Sparkle Momentum, added an effect. Sliding over ammo bricks, also now grant a stack of Bolt Charge. Remove the bespoke melee energy bonus from sliding. Okay. Oh, I forgot. Bolt Charge also gives you bonus melee energy. So yeah, that Spark of Discharge is going to be quite useful. Reduce the amount of time you need to be sliding to activate Sparkle Momentum. Okay, so Sparkle Momentum I don't think really does anything, right? Spark of Momentum. Yeah, okay. I don't... Spark of Momentum's not particularly useful for me personally, but oh well. Spark of Frequency, added effect. While amplified, gain a bonus stack of Bolt Charge from all sources in addition to the previous effect. Frequency. What the fuck? I don't think I use Frequency either. So I always stick with the same ones regardless of what frequency. Melee hits increase your equipped weapon's reload speed and stability for a short duration. That's interesting. That could be useful with, like, if we got a really good arc shotgun that has some good act clearing potential. Sparkle Volts. Finishers grant a stack of bolt charge in addition to granting amplified. Okay, so we already know what that does. A spark of ions. Targets defeated with bolt charge will now also make an ionic or trace in addition to previous effect. Spark of ions I'm actually not familiar with because I don't use a lot of these arc fragments. Spark of ions. Oh, depending on a jolted target creates an ionic trace. So wow, jolting and the new discharging thing will both grant um ionic traces. That's interesting. Oh boy, prismatic. Okay, prismatic. Let's go to prismatic. Oh, unless my game crashed. Come on, game. Okay, so game's not really working currently. So okay, there it is. Prismatic. Fragments. Fragments. By the way, I'm doing the Windows thing, so that whatever. Facet of Hope can now be granted by Bolt Charge. Facet of Purpose now grants a stack of Bolt Charge on or pickup instead of Amplified. Interesting. Facet of Sacrifice can now be activated by Bolt Charge. So Hope and Sacrifice can be activated by Hope and Sacrifice. Do I use either of those? I do. I have Arc's Roy ability. Okay. Interesting. So now the new arc buff thing can now be activated this way. Interesting. Um, interesting. It wasn't any of these. It wasn't Awakening, I don't think. I believe it was Hope. I believe, yeah, it was Hope. So that's interesting. So now light buffs are going to include that other thing as well. The last one is Facet of Ruin. Is a finisher type. Wait, is a finisher type deal? So, no. A second. Hold on a second. It wasn't Facet of Ruin, right? It was Facet of Purpose. It's Facet of Purpose. Anyway, alright. Note modifiers. Brawn, tune healing sources to better balance the health economy when this mod is active. Okay. That's all they have for Heresy. Past is Prologue starts next week, so it is a new event. If you played Riven's Wishes last year, the flow of event will feel similar. Throughout the event, Bento tokens are returned. Well, you'll have a chance to earn a total of 8 Bento tokens. So spend them wisely. So we'll only be able to get what the fuck? So we will only be able to get 8 in total. So do keep that in mind. So the rewards here are the Trials of Osiris, Guardian Games. No wait, or this is Solstice. I think this is Solstice, Guardian Games, Gambit, Nightfall. I know this is Guardian Games. This is Nightfall. This is either Trials or Solstice. But those mementos, you'll be able to get some of this. Igneous Hammer and Bitter Pearl. Well, not Bitter Pearl. It's Chatterwhite. Chatterwhite's coming back. So for currency, keep in mind, you only have 8 of these. So for tokens, you can get alloys, shards. I do not recommend getting any of these. Same with spoils. Just do a raid. I do not recommend getting any of these. Mementos. Oh wait, we can see here. Solstice, Festival of the Lost. If you want some of these, I would say don't get any of the Gambit, Vanguard, Iron Banner mementos. But the furthest, do not get Solstice because we are approaching that. Same with Guardian Games. But if you're missing Dawning or Festival of the Lost, you can get those if you want. I don't recommend these because these events are going to be coming up soon. Now, weapons and armor, Cloud Strike you can get. Cataphract, the fixed roll will be Envious Assassin, Bait and Switch. I'm pretty sure you cannot use this if you don't have the dungeon, so to keep that in mind. Igneous Hammer, Fragile Focus, Precision Instrument. Horror's Lease, Perpetual Motion and Kill Clip. Riptide, Compulsive Reloader, Chill Clip with a Charge Time Masterwork. I actually already have a Riptide with this roll. I mean, not with the barrel, the barrel in the magazine, but if you do not have this Riptide, get it. Get this Riptide. Hunter, high stat roll Artifice armor? For all 3 Guardian classes? Holy shit! Oh, and to make it even sweeter, once you have turned in 5 Bento tokens, you'll gain access to something as precious and pale as the moon. Their Chatterite is coming back. Oh my god, please, definitely do this. Definitely do this. Get the Artifice armor. Get the Artifice armor. I'm curious what the high stat roll is going to be like, but get the Artifice armor, especially if you do not have the class item. The class item Artifice armor will be a mainstay for every single set of armor you do get. Oh, wow. So for me personally, what I will be spending it on will be Hunter and Warlock, and Titan if some stats are already higher than I already have, but Hunter and Warlock for sure because I am missing Artifice armor on those. And then honestly, actually Cataphract is a world drop, I'm pretty sure. But I'll probably be getting a I'll probably getting like an exotic cipher so that I can enhance more exotic armor pieces or Ascendant Shard. But realistically speaking, is that what I recommend the general player get? No. But definitely got the Artifice armor. No! Titan Slasher 1? What the fuck? Hunter, Spectre 1, oh my god. And then Warlock, oh my god. Like, the set Warlock was close, or like Hunter was close, but what the fuck? That was even farther than Titan was. In addition to the runner-up entries for this year's vote being developed or releasing the runner-up Wizards aside from last year during Heresy. That's nice. Okay, so they're doing some of the runner-up. Okay. We don't have plans to revisit voting runners-up in years past, but there's one more set that bears mentioning, the Kaiju Lizard Hunter. Oh, so for Hunters, the Godzilla armor is coming back. So this set inevitably comes up. Okay. However, we don't feel like this old concept quite meets our standards. So in 2025, we will release a Legendary Hunter Cloak ornament that pairs with a new look for Dragon Shadow Exotic Armor Hunter chest piece. Both items will be Kaiju Lizard. Interesting. I'm sorry, but Titans, you're a disappointment. Titans, you're a disappointment. Because all y'all fucking wanted was the helmet. The other set was so much fucking better. Fuck you, Titans. And Hunters, fuck you, Hunters. The other set was better. The other set was better. And Warlocks, I did not really care what y'all went with. Do keep in mind that these sets are not going to look nearly as good when they come out. I'm so upset with Titans. The game to give is back. Fashion feedback, there's that for you for if y'all want to know. Dramatic music. Those are some, music, if y'all want to see those. Known issue, there's a lot with Kel's Fall. But, we'll just be, They know about some issues. There's some lovely art for y'all. I'm really gonna be talking about there. I already saw this, but y'all can see that on y'all's own time. Anyways, on that note, I do not plan on covering every single twib or every single twab, but this one was very major. Very major. We have a new event coming in. I heavily recommend y'all play that event, especially for like that Artifice armor is insane. That has a reward. It says high stat too. That's absolute insanity. Facet of Hope, and I believe it's a full set too. I'm assuming it's a full set. I'm assuming you get a full set. That's insane. That's insane. But the changes, generally speaking, it doesn't fix the issues of fragments being locked to 4 slots. I definitely think they need to really take a look at it and increase the fragment slots to 3 and not to, I think they need to increase that shit to 3. At least in total, they need to increase it from 4 to 5. They need to increase that shit from 4 to 5 because it is very limiting. And essentially, every single fragment setup is the exact same. The only thing that really changes is the fragment slot. If you gave us that extra fragment slot, that would change things up a little bit. They didn't say, but I am curious how many slots these new fragment things are, how many fragment slots these new aspects are going to be. They also do not show the menu, so I am kind of curious. I'm assuming they will only be 2. But I personally hope that they are 3, especially for the Titan one. Because I'm gonna be perfectly honest, if I'm using a flashbang setup, I'm not using this Titan aspect. I'm using that extra bounce. On that note though, thanks for tuning in, and I will catch y'all on the flip side.